Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I hope you're all doing well today. I, for one, am doing extraordinarily well. I did a little bit of shopping for myself, and I usually hate to shop because I feel like when I have a physical object in my possession, I feel really responsible for it, so I hate having too much stuff. But one thing I will splurge on are books because I find them so precious, and I want to have a library in my house one day to show off all the interesting books that I've collected in my travels. And a book just changes your life sometimes. And having a physical copy is so important because you can put in some sticky notes of important passages, and just flipping through a book that you've already read, it all comes rushing back to you. Where I think if you return a book to the library, you might forget about it. So I got some very precious books today. All right, we have P.D. Ouspensky's The Psychology of Man's Possible Evolution. And I really love Ouspensky as a writer. Just in his own right, he has some wonderful ideas. But he's also quite popular for sharing the ideas of the mystic G.I. Gurdjieff with the world, because Gurdjieff made his ideas quite difficult to parse and intentionally inaccessible, which, fine, if that's the thing he was going for, of course, but thankfully for the rest of us, Ouspensky helped parse these ideas into a way that the layperson could understand and could be carried on for many years to come. So we really have Ouspensky to thank for the fact that Gurdjieff's ideas have stayed alive and are as present in the world as they are. But like I said, he's a wonderful writer in his own right. And then the most precious book I own, at least in a material sense, right? I have strong emotional ties to other books, but Occult Signs and Symbols by Rudolf Steiner. Okay, I saw this in the rare book display case, and I was hemming and hawing. I was like, how much does this cost? But I was just playing, okay, because when I saw this, I knew that book is mine. I will pay whatever it costs, as much money as I had in my wallet. But so I'm very happy to have this. Just a wonderful resource, and also, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, it's precious. And this is a third edition from 1980. It's pretty old. Older than me. And then I went to an antique store, and it was my first time in the store, and things were just piled up on the walls. It was such a rich and exciting place to explore. And one thing that they had that was really interesting were all these old photos, and I found it so evocative and just a little bit voyeuristic to be looking at people's old family photos of these moments and energies captured in time. So I got this set of photos. It's from 1934 of this couple. And it's just, these are beautiful photos, for one. But it's also so cute, just imagining this couple out on their vacation, taking photos of each other. So sweet. And you can really travel in time when you look at these photos, and travel emotionally, too, and kind of imagine the lives that these people were living. Just love it. Okay, and the reading for today is going to be a little bit juicy because I get the sense that there is someone in your energy, so strong. They are obsessed with you. They are watching you. And I know it has this kind of creepy stalker vibe, okay? Obsession is a bit of a strong word, but there's no other way to put it. And, it could be kind of a good obsession because I just get the sense that this person, I don't know if I would call it love per se, but they are just so intrigued by you. They just want to know more about you. And if you're having some sort of feeling of knowing someone is in your energy and it's kind of pulling on you, you can do this ceremony, call in Archangel Michael, cut the cords, right? And you imagine these big scissors just cutting the cords that are coming out from you, and do this as often as you need to, once a day, in order to release some of these energies if you feel people pulling on your energy. All right, let's pull a few cards to figure out why this person is so obsessed with you. Okay. Curtain. Okay, I get the sense you put on a good performance. You are the star of the show. When you walk into a room, people find you to be the most interesting person in the room because you're just a little bit mysterious, and I think it's because you almost put on a bit of a stage persona to the world, but a very consciously cultivated persona, where a lot of people are just controlled by unconscious impulses. You are so self-possessed that you can pick what act you want to put on in any moment. And this is really intriguing to people because they're I want to know what the real you is like. I think you're always kind of real, honest, truthful in some ways, but I think you have this whole hidden inner world that allows you to embody all these archetypes and be a different person in certain situations where people just want to know all about you. And I think this is what makes you so interesting. Okay, then we have mirror. Okay, I think that in your interactions with this person, you've mirrored back some qualities to them that have really been almost groundbreaking, or you're a better mirror for them than they've seen in the world and other people, where And with some people, it almost feels as if the mirror is like a little hazy, but with you, it's crystal clear. And I think it's because you see this person for who they are, and it makes you better able to mirror them. And not just like mirroring their surface level traits of like their body language or facial expressions, but some deep psychological aspect is drawn out in them when they interact with you. Okay, and then Chalice. Okay, so I get the sense that you are very much in your Chalice energy right now, of just like treating yourself, feeling your inner sense of abundance, and you just have a really high sense of self-worth, of like you pour into your own cup first. And I think that is what makes you so irresistible and intriguing, because a lot of times people who don't pour into their own cup, they pour out all their energy into other people, and then it's almost like it runs out, where it's like they've poured all they can and then they just kind of snap in a way, and then things go sour. Whereas I get the sense, because you're always pouring into your own cup first, you can pour into other people without getting drained, and you really maintain your sense of self around other people, and your self-possessed aspect is always present even when you're talking to someone else. All right, let's pull a few more cards. Okay, we have Solemn Warning. Ooh, this is intense. So this is, we have some angels going on here, and it's kind of like this kind of Christ-like, or more like a Moses-like figure who's giving a warning to these angels, or maybe compelling the angels to give a warning to other people. So I get the sense that why you are such a intriguing presence to this person is that you have warned them about some things, like maybe predictions for their future, or like you can just see really far ahead, where you just see all the logical outcomes. I think I've mentioned this before, it's like in the movie Donnie Darko, where like these people have these clear pathways kind of coming out of them, and you can kind of see where they're going to walk, because it's predetermined like what is going to happen in some ways. And I think that you're able to really see the logical outcome of certain patterns of behavior, where like people think it's fine now, but you can see that in 10-20 years it's going to escalate to a point that is just not going to be a happy place. So I think you can sometimes give warnings to people about like, if you keep up this behavior, this is what's going to happen. And it puts the fear of God in them, because they maybe never thought things through that far. Maybe their logical reasoning skills were just a little bit impaired in some ways, or they just didn't want to think about it. Like, and so when they actually think about it, when you point things out to them, they're like, oh shit, like it's actually real. And you really do give them this solemn warning where it's like, this is actually kind of serious. Like, of course you like to keep things silly, but sometimes there are things to be serious about. All right, we have Gigabyte. So yeah, I think you have this like electrical shock to people, where it shakes them out of their daily routine, or like they're kind of automatism of, they're just kind of going about things in a little bit of like a brainless way, or like a on autopilot. And I get the sense you're someone who comes in and you shake things up for people. And so I think you gave this person an electric shock with something that you said, or the way you handled a situation. It really just shook them in a way that they had never experienced before. And I think because you break the mold in some ways, where they're used to a really set script of things always play out this way. When I say something, the other person responds this way. Or like when I do this thing, the person will respond this way. And it's kind of like a game that everyone plays, and a script that everyone has learned. So it does go the same every way, except because you're so self-possessed, you're not following anyone's scripts. You're thinking for yourself. You're thinking clearly. And so where they were playing like a game of checkers before, like you were playing 5D chess. So I think that's why this person is obsessed with you, because it's like, oh, you're operating on a higher level than all these other people who are just following the same old script. You were like just thinking for yourself, and like this surprise, this shock factor is what gets people so intrigued. All right, then we have Gravedigger's Trap Hole. And yeah, like with a Solemn Warning card, this is a similar energy of like, if you can tell when someone is digging their own hole, digging their own grave, it's like you can point out to someone the detrimental behaviors or thoughts that they're having. And I think that this makes them really obsessed with you, because it's like they understand that you could save them from the grave that they've dug for themselves in a way. Because you have this ability to say, like, stop digging yourself deeper into a hole, where like I said, other people will just reiterate the same script, and it's almost like this encouragement to just, okay, go along, keep doing things the way you were. But because you're someone who's like, I don't want you to dig a grave for yourself, like I want you to claw your way out of the hole while you still can, this makes someone obsessed with you, because it's like, oh, this person actually cares, this person actually wants the best for me. And it's honestly kind of rare. Like, I think a lot of people are okay to just encourage negative behaviors, but I think you're someone who's like, actually, no, I do want the best for people, so I'm gonna do something about it by shaking some sense into them. So I really get the sense you're someone who just grabs people by the shoulders and shakes some sense into them in this very electrical, shocking way. Okay, we have the Chariot. So I get the sense that you're someone who kind of like keeps it moving. You're like, there's no time to waste here. I'm not going to play out the same old routines and patterns over and over again. Like, it's upwards and onwards. We're going forward. And if you can't keep up, then too bad. Like, so I get the sense that maybe this person is used to just kind of like plodding along, and you're someone who comes in kind of like at a lightning pace of just like, let's go. And I think that this can be a little bit scary to some people, but I think to the right person, like this person who's in your energy right now, it's like, this is so exciting, because it feels like the ball is rolling. Like, it feels like things are happening, where if someone gets bored really easily, even though like a boring life can honestly be a little bit more convenient because that's what you know, when something exciting comes along, that is just so groundbreaking, to the point that even if someone is still caught up in these patterns of like same old, they understand that these patterns are boring, and you are just like a breath of fresh air, pushing them to drive forward. All right, then we have the Knight of Cups. So I get the sense you are delivering some sort of emotional energy to this person, where like, not necessarily anything you said directly or anything you did to them, but there's something about you that has caused some sort of emotional message to arrive in this person, or like some new emotion has been stirred in them that they had never felt before by interacting with you. And it's almost like this feeling of crossing onto the other side, where it's like there was a before they met you and an after they met you, and it's like their life will never be the same as before they met you because of certain things that you have like awoken in them. And like, yeah, again, like you've just really shocked them in some way. And maybe part of this shock is like, I think you handled a situation really well. Like I said, like you broke the script in some way that really shook someone. Where like, I think you were not afraid to display your emotions. And I think that in this way, it was like a little bit groundbreaking. And not so much in like an emotional outburst, but just emotional honesty. Because I think sometimes people have emotional outbursts and they see that as being emotionally open, but it's actually because of all this pent up emotions that they haven't been honest about, right? Like, I'm getting the sense of someone who goes to a restaurant and the food is undercooked. So like someone was under delivered and just like not tried very hard. And this kind of more passive person will eat the food anyway, not say anything in the restaurant. Then they go home and get food poisoning. And then they write this like 5-paragraph angry Google review. So I get the sense that this is the type of person that this person is used to dealing with. But you are the type of person who, if the food is undercooked, or if someone gives you some sort of half-baked energy, you're going to not put up with it. Like right there and then you're going to say like, this is not good enough. And I think that this person is not used to receiving this kind of open honesty about how other people are feeling in the moment. And so I think that this is really something that you bring to the table that's just like new and refreshing. And again, it's like shocking sometimes, where it's like, whoa, I didn't expect you to actually be honest with me. And like, yeah, maybe some of the other people in this person's energy are just not quite as emotionally vulnerable as you are. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles. So I get the sense this person is kind of caught up in making a choice in some ways regarding their involvement with you, of understanding that there is like a lot of possibility in their relationship with you, of like something could develop here, but I think that they're at the point where they're just paralyzed by the choice. And this feeling of there being kind of infinite possibilities in some way, and that when they make the choice, it's almost like you're cutting off some of the possibilities. So I get the sense that the person is just kind of like really stuck at a crossroads in some way of like, do I want to cross over to the other side again of like I said, like there's a before they met you and an after they met you. And I think they are also understanding that there's going to be like a before your relationship evolves and an after. So that could be why this person is maybe hanging back a little bit and they're just kind of watching you from a distance and being obsessed in a kind of strangely detached way, because they understand that like once the ball gets rolling, it's rolling and you can't stop it. So they're kind of like scared. They don't want to get on the roller coaster just yet. But like a fun roller coaster. I'm not talking about some emotional roller coaster with the ups and the downs in that way. I mean, yes, that is life, but I think you're a roller coaster in the sense that you were a very fun ride. All right, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles. And this is like, I think this is the energy that you're in. Like I was saying with this chalice, is that you just have this sort of sense of like abundance where you have everything you need. And so I get the sense with this card, it's like you're in a garden of your own creation. I think that this person sees that you have a very rich inner world. And it's like they want to go into this garden, this like walled garden that I think you don't let too many people into, but it's such a beautiful place. And it's like this woman who has this beautiful bird resting on her hand. And it's like this kind of delicate, sensitive moment in this card. So it's like, I get the sense that this person sees that you have this really established sense of inner peace, and almost in some ways they're kind of scared of disrupting it, where it's like you have such a perfect balance that they know that when they come in, something is going to be shaken up a little bit. But I think that you know that you've cultivated such a strong sense of inner wealth that no one could take it away from you. Like no matter what someone else does, you're so self-possessed and assured in what you have mentally, emotionally, and even materially as well. Like you're secure. So you really have the sense of material security, and just like things in your life are not going to go sour, where maybe other people that this person has dealt with might kind of like blow up their lives. Like I was saying with this lack of emotional regulation, is like people will just like let this time bomb tick when it comes to expressing their emotions or making decisions that are healthy for them, like they're digging their own grave. And they just let it go on too far to the point where things just blow up. And it could look like something kind of bad happening in your life. Like things just kind of go off the rails a little bit. Or just like this emotional explosion that just, even if maybe you didn't necessarily change anything physically, like it's not so bad that you had a breakdown and lost your job or anything quite like that. But it's still like, this emotional meltdown could affect you for weeks to come. And I get the sense you're not that person. Like, I think that maybe this person witnessed you in a situation that would have caused other people to melt down, and yet you didn't. And I think this is what is so impressive about you. Okay. Then we have the Eight of Wands. Ooh, so this is like some sort of barrage. Okay, so I get the sense that maybe some of the feelings that this person is having towards you are almost hitting them like a barrage. Like it just doesn't stop. And like really specifically these feelings and sensations that are almost a little bit magical or just like out of the ordinary, like something someone is not used to feeling, and it really is on this energetic level. Where like maybe this person didn't even believe in these sort of energetic ties between people, and now they're starting to understand, like, oh, even if I'm not necessarily around this person, there is something about them that is affecting me in this strange magical way that's really hard to pin down, and it just doesn't stop. So I will admit, maybe you have been doing a little bit of spiritual warfare, or like, you know, your focus is primarily on protection, of course, but I get the sense that you have also maybe been sending out some missiles out there into the world, and it might not even necessarily be directed towards this person. In fact, I don't actually think it is. I think it's like you are just sending out those missiles to like take out certain energies in the world, and it just so happens that this person's kind of getting caught in the crossfire of like you're just sending things out trying to attack these shadowy, figures. Like, you were fighting the good fight. And it just so happens that there happens to be a little bit of evil in this person. And so some of the missiles are hitting the evil in this person. And so, if you come to someone as an angel, the demons inside them will want to fight you. So I get the sense this is why someone could be obsessed with you, almost in a bit of a darker way of, like, wanting to fight. Of, like, not necessarily just, like, wanting to be close to you in, like, a friendly or romantic way, but it's like they want to sit down with you and, like, fight it out. And not physically, but, like, verbally, they want to battle things in you, where, like, it could be something that you've said, something you've posted online, or even just something that they sense about you in your personality, where they can tell you think or believe a certain thing about yourself or about the world, and they just want to really dig in, and they know that this is not something that they can do just, like, one-sided. Like, I think that they've probably had arguments with you in their head, but they are understanding that it would actually take, like, a physical confrontation to address some of these things. But I get the sense they're a little bit scared because, like I said, I think you're a bit of a master in the spiritual warfare, and that if this person tried to come to you, like, they are scared of you because they know you would win. Okay. Alien. So I think you present something totally alien in this person's life, where it's like they have never met someone like you, is really the vibe I'm getting, or like you're just so different. And in a sense, this is like bringing something really good to someone's life, where it's like, yeah, I'm getting this sense of just, it's not so commonplace, where maybe the new thing about you is, like I said, you break the mold. And I think part of that is you hold people to a high standard. And this is something that's very rare in the world, but it is, like, very rewarding, where, like, if you had a lot of teachers in your life who just gave everyone A's and they were just easy markers, it was just not that rewarding. And honestly, you probably forgot about all of those teachers. They didn't really make much of an impression on you. But did you have that one teacher ever who was such a hard marker that they made people cry in class, that people failed projects they thought they would never fail? Or, like, the type of person who would never failed a test in this teacher's class? I think you probably remember this person. And especially if you ever got a high mark from this teacher, you certainly felt incredibly rewarded, and that stuck with you. And I get the sense this is the kind of alien energy you're bringing, is like, you're a little bit different, so that when you offer some energy to people, the energy just feels different too. Where it's like, you could do something for someone and another person could do the same thing, but from you, it just feels so much more intense and so much more meaningful because of the fact that you don't just do this for everyone. Like, there's this rare energy about you that is not related to overgiving. It's like you are actually quite frugal with your energy, which is something rare and alien in this world. And I also get the sense you're just like a character in some ways. And so you're very easy to get obsessed with. Like, you're almost like someone's comfort character is what I'm getting. Of, like, there's some characters where you just want to see more and more of them. Like Sherlock Holmes. You could write a million Sherlock Holmes stories, read them all, you know? Or, like, those anime series like One Piece that just go on and on and on. And it's like, because people are so happy spending time with these characters. And I get the sense your personality is so different and alien that you are like a character that someone just wants to know more and more about. Okay, we have Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare. This is similar to the Grave Digger's Trap Hole. It's like, you have got this person in your web, and you have got them trapped in, like, a different way than they have maybe trapped themselves. Like, in negative cycles, maybe, where they were repeating the same detrimental behavior over and over, that was them digging their own grave and making their own trap. But I get the sense you have laid a kind of different trap where you have attracted them into your web and they can't get out. And I know this sounds like a little bit skeevy, because the spider will in fact kill what is caught in its web. But I think you're a nice person. You're not trying to kill them or, like, liquefy their innards and suck them out. I think that's what spiders do, right? No, but I do get the sense you kind of have this, like, powerful energy of, like, the spider waiting in its web. Like, you don't necessarily need to go out in the world and hunt things. Things just come to you. And you're just beckoning in. And it's like an irresistible thing where people just they're drawn towards this energy that you've created in the dark. Yeah, maybe there's something a little bit evil to you. In an intriguing and fun way, though. Okay, and then we have Miracle Fertilizer. Ooh, so I get the sense that this is how they see you. They see you as like this miracle spray, where just like everything you touch turns to gold, is kind of the sense. Like, every conversation that you have turns into something rewarding. Every relationship you have is cultivated into something extraordinarily meaningful. Every project you work on becomes the best version of that project that could exist. And this person really wants a little bit of your magic touch, of like, please just like give me some of your magic. And I think that's why this person is so obsessed with you, is because they know that if you gave them your energy, it would change things in their life in very major ways. So I get the sense that this person is wanting to know you on a deeper level and wanting to get closer to you, but there are these aspects of you that could be like a little bit scary, like with the alien or with this kind of spider's web feeling, is like, I'm going to be transported to a different world, and that is scary. But at the same time, we all kind of want to go to different worlds. Like, we love to play video games and get immersed in other realities. But I think in our day-to-day kind of dreary existence, we don't necessarily get a lot of that. That's why we have to play games and read stories. So I get the sense that you're someone who is like creating this magical story, but in the real world, where it's like being immersed in your world feels like something totally different. And antenna. So I get the sense that you pick up on very subtle energies, and I think maybe this person does too. And I think this is why this energetic tie is so strong, is that these subtle energies that you're both putting out is like attracting each other, or like you can sense really subtle energies that they're putting out. Maybe if you're not even like not even things through conversation, but just you pick up on like very subtle things, and then you kind of mirror it back, like I was saying, like with the mirror card here. And it's almost like this person is kind of freaked out because you've amplified these energies that they were barely even aware that they were feeling, and you just receive and give it back. And similarly, I think this person is really picking up what you're putting down, is like the things that you say really resonate with them on this deeper level, where like, you know, sometimes maybe they have conversations where it's like, it's kind of going over their head a little bit, or they're just not really tuned into the frequency. But I think with you, it's like they are tuned all the way in. Okay, let's draw a few more cards. Ooh, okay, we have the Five of Wands. So it's like this feeling of kind of like a conflict, or like something trying to be built, but there's just a lot of different things going on. And it's almost like this person is, I think they're like fighting demons a little bit, like they're fighting with themselves a little, where it feels like they're trying to overcome something in the world, when really what they need to overcome is within themselves. And I think that this person is like kind of fighting against some magical energies going on here, where they maybe don't necessarily believe in magic all that much. They might not believe in things like spiritual warfare. So they might be thinking, I don't need to practice any spiritual protections. I'm safe from spiritual warfare because it's not real. Little do they know. Little do they know the attacks are coming in. Okay. Sorry, this is getting really evil. I can't help myself. Okay. Ooh. And the Three of Swords. Oh my gosh. This is like this heartbreak feeling of like being left out in the cold. So I think, like I said, you're a little bit frugal with your energy. And I think maybe this person maybe feels like they were left out in the cold a little bit. Where like, I think that you can be very generous with your energy when you want to. And it almost creates this feeling of like, when you give your energy, your miracle fertilizer, your magic touch, and then you take it away, it's like that is also an electric shock in itself, where like it's so intense, where you know, it's like you only miss the sun when it starts to snow, right? You only realize how miraculous and magical your energy was when you pull it back. And I think that this person is going through like this little bit of a mental crisis in some ways, where they're really thinking about what it was that they did to make you draw back in this way. And it could also relate to like, there is someone else in their life that is maybe stopping them from really fully being able to realize their obsession with you, where it's like they almost have soul ties with other people going on right now, as well, as the sense that I'm getting, where it's like their obsession with you is only one part of it. Their obsession with other people is also part of it. Like, I think it's not really like necessarily so much that you have a strong connection. I mean, certainly in some ways you do, but I think more so it's that this is just an obsessive person in general. So I get the sense that their obsession with other people is holding back your connection in some ways, but it's also keeping the connection between you guys going, if you know what I mean. Like, there's just something about this person's thoughts that are creating ties to other people as well. All right, and then we have the King of Cups. So I get the sense that this person might be coming into some new emotional strength in some ways, or like a emotional reality, where perhaps before they were less emotionally regulated. But I think that they're kind of understanding that to get to your level, because you're obviously someone who's extraordinarily emotionally regulated. Like I said, like you just handle things really well. They understand that to play with you, like to be in your world, they need to get to this Knight of Cups energy as well. And like, I think that they're also understanding this need to be close to a sort of collective unconscious, where it's like before they were okay to just be living in their own reality, or like the mundane reality of the everyday world and of contemporary culture. But I think being close to this more universal, timeless aspect is enriching them. And I think that they see that you're someone who is very close to that aspect as well. And in order to become more of a whole integrated person, you need to encounter things in the collective unconscious, in this body of water, and encounter new emotions inside yourself that are like universal. Like, everyone feels these things in some way, like we all have the capacity to feel it, but some people don't ever feel it in their lifetime. So I get the sense that this person is feeling new things, and it appears to them like this kind of alien force of like something scary, new, different, external to them. But this feeling of the new is what allows these things that were already in us to actually be integrated into our conscious personality. All right, so I hope that this reading gave you a little bit of insight onto a connection that you have going on right now. And maybe let's just draw a couple cards on like what the future of this connection might be. Because I think we've established quite well what makes you so intriguing, what makes this person obsessed. But it's like, what's actually going to happen next? Are they going to do something? Ooh, we have the Emperor. Okay, I feel like this is a good omen here. So I get the sense this person is stepping from this King of Cups energy of like emotional mastery into the Emperor energy of like being a fully integrated person. I think because you've set such a good example, they understand, not even with you saying exactly like, this is how an emperor should act. Like, you don't need to spell it out, but just from the way that you act and the very obvious way that you need to be treated just as a self-respecting person, they understand what it would take for them to become an emperor. And it's almost kind of nice because you don't have to spell it out. You don't have to say, like, this is how I need to be treated. This is what I expect from you. It's like they can just tell already. And I think that this is maybe what also makes this person obsessed with you, is like they understand that they need to step up to be at your level. And it's almost like you're the drive that is causing them to feel that they need to step up. Where, like I said, if they were kind of caught in this dreary, mundane reality with these people who are just playing checkers, they didn't need to up their game because they could just win the game of checkers every time. But to play 5D chess, they need to become this higher level of consciousness, this divine masculine energy that they weren't previously embodying. But I think drawing the Emperor card is a bit of a good sign here, because I think it means that they're capable and willing to step into their divine masculine energy. Let's draw one more card, maybe about like how you're going to be in the future of this. Ooh, the Ace of Cups. Your chalice overfloweth. Your cup runneth over. And it's this feeling of like, I think that, like I said, you pour into your own cup so much that you can pour into the cups of others. But I think an experience you've never had is someone pouring into your cup. You've actually never experienced this. And I think that what the future of this connection might be is that finally someone might pour into your cup, and it's like, because your cup is already so full, this overflowing feeling is just going to feel like a waterfall bursting open for you, like creatively, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I think that when someone who is in their emperor energy pours into your cup, it's like this groundbreaking electrical shock for you. So I think that you have something to look forward to in this connection as well. And like I said earlier, just cut the cords, because if you're sending out energetic ties to people, okay, that's your own business, that's your own spiritual warfare practice. But when people are sending ties to you, that is advantageous to them, and it's pulling on your energy. So just always be cutting the cords. Don't let other people pull on your energy. Focus on yourself, focus on pouring into your cup. And if people are obsessed with you, just take that as a compliment, okay? Don't make it into this thing of like feeling like, oh my god, I'm being watched, it's so scary. It's like, no, like I said, you're the star of the show. Of course people are going to watch you. It's like, seriously, don't be scared of it. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching this video. I always enjoy spending time with you guys, and thank you guys so much for wanting to spend time with me too. I hope to see you in the next video, and please leave a comment if any of this resonated with you.